Hello, welcome to this tutorial video. I'm Easy Ozi. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make use of JetEngine meta box in enhancing uh, the user meta box for your user role. That is, with JetEngine meta box, you can create some meta boxes for your users and have control over how you want to process the information the user submit on your front end. So I'm working on a job board website. I had earlier created two user roles named employers and employee using this plugin called members. So let's take a look at the roles that we have here. So you can see I've created the user role employee and employer. If I go to, let's say, users, and I click on all users, and let's say perhaps I want to edit this user, you see that these are the default from here. Let's say these are the default WordPress user feeds. And the reason why we can't use this feed and why we need to make use of JetEngine meta box to create custom meta box for users is because with the default WordPress user feeds, we are not able to have control over all the informations collected in the WordPress uh, default area. So we are unable to have control over this. Let's say, for example, this user image, you have to upload the picture first in Gravatar, and a whole lot of stuff is ongoing on here, which is not giving us the free hand to make use of any information a user has submit through this mess. So I'm going to show you something else to buttress what I'm saying. For example, if you've ever worked with WooCommerce, I'm going to install WooCommerce. You'll notice that in WooCommerce, when you install it, automatically a new user role is created based on the function of WooCommerce plugin. A new user role called customer is created. The reason why WooCommerce created that user role for customers or uh, some meta boxes accompanying the customer role is because WooCommerce wants to have control over the information of the user that they are dealing with. So I'm going to show you in a brief after installing this WooCommerce plugin what I'm talking about. So having installed WooCommerce plugin, let's go back to users. All users. So I'm going to click on edit. So if you scroll down, you see that a new user role called customer. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Has been created based on the prowess of the plugin we installed, that is WooCommerce. And you will see that because of the plugin, a custom meta box for the user role customer came along with the WooCommerce plugin. This is needed so that WooCommerce can have a way of collecting data of the user they are dealing with and have all the information needed to process that data without having to use the default feeds provided by WordPress. So I'm going to go to members and show you that the user role called customer can see is been added here, and that's because of the WooCommerce plugin. And to have control over what this user role called customer is doing, WooCommerce had to create their own custom meta boxes that came with the plugin to have a way to manage such kind of user. And that's exactly what we are going to do on this website. We are going to create custom meta boxes for our user roles, which we created, employer and employees. So let's go ahead to JetEngine. Then we go to meta boxes. So I'm going to click on add new. Then I'm going to title this meta box employee, employer, let me see, employer details. So you can give it any convenient name. What is this meta box for? We are going to say not for post, is for user. So we'll leave this as untoggled. We don't need to hide meta feed names. Now, visibility condition. What will this meta box be? Which user role will it be visible for? This will be visible for edit user and for user profile. Then I'm going to set the actual condition that says included for which user role. I'm going to say for employer. So that being said, I'm going to create the custom meta feeds that will be needed for that user role. So the first will be company username. I'm going to say company username is going to be a test feed. Automatically a name ID or key has been created. Then I'll add another feed and I'll call it company name. So that's the name of the company. So it's just a test feed, nothing else I'm going to set other than to make it test feed. Then I'm going to say company logo or company or business logo. So the next one I'm going to say company or business address. You can as well write employer address. So it all depends on you and how you're working with things. So I'm going to say this is company phone number, then company email, then I'm going to add company size. I'm going to say company size. Company size is going to be a select feed, and I'm going to get my options from glossary. So if you follow the earlier video that I posted, so I'm going to attach the link in the description of this video. So check it out. We dealt with glossary. So when I select glossary, I'm going to say select company size as my placeholder. Then I'm going to select the glossary and say employee size. So I'm going to collapse this tab. Next one is about the company. About. So it could as well be let's say about business, but understand this labeling I'm doing. So the feed type, I'm going to set it as WYSIWYG editor. Then I'll need company website URL. I'll leave it as test feed. Then company gallery. Company gallery. So that's going to be a gallery feed, that is images of the company. Then I'm going to create a new meta feed. I'm going to say company rep, that is company representative details. We want to have someone who has a personal touch with the company to drop their information as well. It won't just be that we have the information of the company alone without having a representative or a public relation of. So that can be the owner or whichever personnel is helping the company to post their job. So I'm going to set the feed object type as tab. So I want it to be a tab. So I'm going to, or any other feed I create will fall under this tab. As you can see, it has fallen under the tab. And I'm going to say this is rep first name, then rep last name. So it's a test feed. Rep phone number, rep email address. Then lastly, we have rep profile image. So that feed will be a media feed. So that's all the information, like the custom meta feed we need to create for this user row. So we are going to click on add meta box. Excuse me. Then let's visit. You can see I only have one user on the website, and the user is an administrator. So I'm going to, let's say, create a new user and assign that user the user role called administrator, called employer. So I'm going to add a new user. So I'm adding this new user here, for example. So I'm setting a password for this user. So I don't need to set an email. So what user role should this user have? I'm going to say employer. So when I click on add new user, the user has the role called employer. Now when I click on edit, we'll see that we have that meta box falling under this user role. So scroll down, this one is meta box for the WooCommerce role as customer. So if you scroll down, you see our own meta box, which we created using JetEngine. So you see employer details, which we named in meta box, then all the other feeds that are included here as well. So these are the custom meta feeds we created for our user. So I'm going to do the same again for the user role called employee. So let's go to JetEngine. I'm going to come to meta box of JetEngine, click on it, then we add meta box for the user role called employee. So I'm going to hit on add new, and I'll name this meta box employee details. So the meta box will be for user, visibility condition, visible for edit user and profile. New condition, I want to include it for a particular user role, and I'll select the employee user role. So now I'm going to create the meta feed for that meta box. So the first one is going to be the employee username. It's a test feed. Then this is going to be employee first name. So just the same, almost the same thing with what we did with the employer. So I'll quickly rush and do this, then come back to you guys. I'm done creating the meta feeds for the meta box we create for our user employee. So I'm going to show you what I have here. So I have this feed to collect the employer username, which is a test feed. First name and last name both are test feed. Then the employer and employee address is a test feed. They will upload their profile image, so it's supposed to be a media feed. Then the employee birthday, so that we can know the age of the employee. Professional description, this is going to be a WYSIWYG feed type, whereby they'll be able to professionally describe what they are, whom they are. Years of experience is going to be a number feed. It's going to be a number feed. Then disability, this is a radio feed to say if they have any disability, yes or no. If they say yes, they need to specify. So I'm going to set condition for that. Enable condition rule to show if disability is equal to yes. So I'm going to close it out. The condition is set. Work positions in view. This is a repeater. So the employee is going to have option to, let's say, list some possible position he or she is in view to get, like what positions interest such employee. Salary in view, the amount of salary the employee is hoping to get from any possible job application. Languages is a checkbox, and we are getting our option from glossary, and I've allowed to save custom and to allow addition while working on the backend. So I'll set it to horizontal layout. So you need to first create a glossary for languages so that you can use that glossary. Employee skills is going to be checkbox. So the employee can select more than one or two skill sets, more than one and several skill sets that he or she has. So make sure to check saved as array for all your checkbox feed. So because if you are getting submission from the front end, you won't be able to have where to store it if you don't check it as array. I have to toggle this one to as an array. Then let's make sure everything is set. So it's all set. I'm going to update this meta box. So let's say I add a new user and I grant the user the role called employee. So let me create a new user. So I'll select the role employee. I'll toggle the subscriber. You can as well select multiple roles for each of the user. So I'm going to say add new user. So by the time I click on edit user, you see that the meta fields we created into the meta box that we named employee details is right here. So like this, when we, let's say, collect entries from the back end to submit here, we'll be able to have way to use any details that's submitted here. So it's a great way to work with MetaBox using JetEngine. So you'll be able to gather specific user details, which I just did when I set those meta feed, and I'll be able to flexibly manage users without restriction, and I'll be able to create personalized content depending on that user, and a lot of things can evolve based on you creating custom meta box for your user role. So subscribe this to my page and share this video as well. For more content like this, make sure you stay tuned and hit the notification bell to get any notification when I upload a video. So I'm Easy Ozzy. See you on the next video.